Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. I've been thinking about this a lot and looking into the asteroids and the planets and the stories behind them. I started to look into the planet that was supposedly the asteroid belt because I really want to get to the bottom of the energy behind this planet since the asteroids embody so much of this energy. And so it brought me to some text online that I can link for you and give you keywords to find them, but it's on a text site. But this article was really enlightening. I wanted to share it with you guys about Lucifer and how it kind of connects to all of us. So this text kind of breaks the Bible down in the language that it was used and then translating it through the lens of the characters actually being planetary bodies in a lot of ways. So to start, there are sayings in ancient Sumeria that talk about a planet colliding, like two planets colliding, maybe one of them having been Tiamat, and that going into their history of like how humans and the earth and things like that. But when I look up the different names that this planet may have gone by, one of them is Maldek. And Maldek, I started to look at the etymology because I was like, it has the word mal, I think bad. So what does that mean? So looking into that, it kind of brought me to Lucifer. And the term Lucifer relates to the morning star. And they would refer to Venus as the morning star and the evening star because they thought it was two different planetary bodies, two different stars when it was one planet, but that actually seemed to happen with multiple planets. So they would say, oh, there's an evening star, there's a night star, or they would, for example, call Mercury one name in the day and one name at night. And that would happen possibly with Jupiter, Venus, and Mars as well. So that contributed to the multiple names that were given to these planetary bodies, and also the confusion with the idea of the morning star. And this article suggests that there was actually a planet named Lucifer, and that planet was, very advanced technologically, and that they actually caused the planet to explode through technology because they used a hydrogen bomb. And the hydrogen completely shattered the vortex toroidal field around the planet, and it ceased to exist. It burst into a million pieces into the asteroid belt, but that asteroid belt explosion affected not only Mars but Earth as well, and that Earth had really bad meteorite storms. And this apparently happened during the time of Moses. And so in the Bible, they break down the writings is the book of Joshua, I believe they reference a lot, Exodus, and Isaiah. So they break down how there was terrible storms, dust everywhere, meteorites, like way worse than we've seen on the planet now. And that attributed to them using Lucifer, the planet, as a warning to people of what happens when you want to become greater than God. Because the myth was that the planet Lucifer, the people on there, were trying to use energy in a way where they became the masters of the solar system through their technology. And that led to the bomb explosion and their downfall. And that those spirits either went to another planet, or some like that were the main cause of it descended into another realm or something like that. But basically they're saying that that is where the idea of Lucifer relating to Satan became so negative, of the pride of Lucifer, because they're referring to this horrible storm that took out like so many people in the land and things. And it's a really interesting take because they really break down the Bible verses word for word. They have a lot of information on the planets, on how like the breakdown of how they spin, and like it's a really detailed article. And so it just is really eye-opening because they're saying that this knowledge is not known to everyone. That's kind of hidden knowledge, because if we were to know that Lucifer was possibly a planet and not like a demonic entity. That we were in contact, like, or at least knew of other planets and people on other planets as like a regular thing, it seems. Like people on Mars, people on Venus, people on this planet Lucifer, and the other planets. And they do show throughout history that multiple people knew about the different moons of Mars and the different like moons of Venus throughout time, that they didn't understand how these people knew these things. So it's just very eye-opening to think that if this is a part of human history, that this planet exploded, that is something that energetically affects everyone. And this planet being called Maldek and having a moon called possibly Melona, the etymology comes down to silver tongue, and they said that that planet was the tongue of the solar system. They said in the article that it may have actually been the, I think like 8th planet or something out of like 13, and that there are actually 13 planets, and that's why 13 has become an unlucky number, because one of the planets went, and exploded. And then and then to think that it was the tongue, I think it's very symbolic. And silver tongue, silver makes me think the moon and Cancer energy, and the feminine, and when I think of the asteroids, it's a lot of feminine energy that I do see in there. And they also said in this article that the planet Maldek, the moon of Maldek, may have actually been Lilith. And that's how Lilith is connected to possibly having married to like Satan or something like that, because maybe the moon of this planet was Lilith and the planet is now gone. So it's very interesting to think of these energies as possibly planetary bodies and the history of this universe that I feel like we really don't understand. And I just wanted to share that with everyone. And if you're interested in this kind of thing and asteroid astrology, you can follow along and look to the link in my bio.